Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2024 and the Port Vale save. Today we're on part 5. Now what we're going to do today is sort the rest of the inbox out, make sure the squad is correct and look forward to the first friendly, but that won't be in this episode. I want to try and buy a few players before that, which I have looked into 3, but I haven't made any offers or anything, so we need to do that. So we'll start here with the inbox first of all. And as we move on, we take the hot seat. And then the supporter profile update, we don't need to look at that. The club vision, we already know, we've got to accept that anyway. And then we're going to move on to the player contracts. We're dealing with all of that. We don't need to look at any of what they've come up with. And of course, the tactics screen. This is the one I told you in the last episode. This is the first thing you have to do. Now, you can all see that we have the thumbs up for 3 positions. I normally head for the wing play if it's available. The formation, I know it says 4-4-2, but if you drop down the menu here, 4-4-2 comes up just a little tad different, and then we'll continue. So we know that the whole squad here, including the youth and the reserves, will all be playing this formation. And as we move on, we'll see all the injuries that we've got. Now, this is where we cancelled the friendlies in the final part 4. And I think we've done 6 friendlies or something around that, but that's the first 3 all accepted, and the second 3 all accepted. Oh yeah, it was 7, that was it, and Carlisle accepted the last one. So that's all the friendlies that are in. Right, they do like you attending a weekly staff meeting. We'll attend it because it's the first one, but we'll just skip, and end the meeting. Because we're dealing with everything ourselves, we don't really need to worry about any of that. And this is another complete waste of time, and you have to do this. So whatever you want to do here, and that's up to you. And that's finished. Not many days till we get to the point of our first friendly. We know all these contracts are going to expire. We're not going to bother going to attend any of these England trial days. But the first thing I want to do, I have looked at 3 possible signings. So what we do here, we go into players, and then we're going to go new search. I don't really like trying to sign any players that are over 21 because they would be cheaper to get anyway. And the transfer value needs to be 0. And the first one, oh there he is, that's the first one I looked at. His name is Dejan Tetek, Serbian, but the only thing is he only plays MC. So when we look in the MC, we can see we're going to have to change this around, I think, because we don't have any ML at all. I think at the moment we're going to have to move Connor Grant into that position. He does have 369 points for that position, as he will be playing competent there. So we're going to move him for now. And then that means that our loan coming in from Oliver Arblaster will actually make our top four. So we can delete him from the under 21s for now and put these four in order of the V column descending order. Right, so that's our MCs picked up there. So let's make sure everything else is okay. Yep, it means now that our sixth player down won't be going out on loan because we need 6 at the club. And the ML, we are desperate to find another 2, but another 1 would be a help. So this player here, I'm going to approach the sign. I haven't done any of this part, so I've just looked at 3 that possibly had the points for the club. Always click off these promises because it'll lead to big problems. And if they want to have one of these promises, then don't sign the player because it will be more hassle than it's worth. Right, he doesn't need any of them. Right, we have to set the wage here. I would say around £1,000. And he wants a contract for 3 years until 2026, which suits us because he's quite a good player. And if I just, before I press that button, if I take you back here, these are the 3 players that I have looked at. So the first one will be the guy we're looking at now, Dejan Tetek. I've added his points up. I've also added up this side where these 2 will be good enough with potential to be really good players for this club. So what we're going to look at here, I've estimated Dejan Tetek's value at £5 million. Now he is on a free, doesn't mean he's going to come, and the estimated wages could be up to 17 grand a week, which we would never be able to afford. So this is perhaps telling me that I don't think he's going to sign for us. Right, let's have a look. This means that we can't afford to give him that bonus, so I'll remove that. He wants 1,900 a week. We're already in orange on this side, so if we muck this up, he won't come at all. Right, okay, they've agreed with that. So 1,900 a week until the end of the 26th season. So that's the first one that I want to put in there. Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to come. A £5 million player, 17 grand a week, could get a contract somewhere else. I'm pretty sure on that. Now the next one I want to have a look at, and both of these 2 players are going to be loan players. I can't find anyone for nothing really. So the next one we're going to look at is George Wickens. Now he's a Fulham goalkeeper. So delete these here, and we'll put goalkeeper in here, and we'll put loan, take that off. So let's see if we can find him. There we go. And again, I think he's worth nearly £6 million and should be on £19,000 to £20,000 per week. He's only 21 years old. He has brilliant stats, by the way. So we'll make an offer, go into transfer and make offer, and then loan offer. Yeah, and we're offering 20% of his wages, which they've accepted as £650 per week. So suggest terms and finalise that. So that's 650. And that will be to the end of the season, basically. And the third player here is not the greatest. So let's come out of here. I'm going to put in ML. He plays ML and MR, but he's not one of the best players that we could get. But because he plays in two positions, it may be worth taking him on, as you can see there. And he can drop back to a DL if we needed him to. So yeah, because we're desperate in both of these positions, he utilises both of those positions. He is a left footer, which means I would really put him in as an ML. I've estimated him at 600,000, just over, and the wages of 2,200 a week. So let's again into transfer, make offer, loan offer, and we've offered £400 a week, and they've agreed with that. And of course, the biggest trouble we've got now is whether these three will want to come. Because what you normally find that happens now, within the next few days, there'll be other clubs that come in for these players. So we just have to keep our fingers crossed. The top one, let's say £5 million, 17,000. I think he may go somewhere else. And George Wickens, again, nearly £6 million, 20,000 a week. He could attract other clubs as well. So as I say, we've taken out Connor Grant here and moved him into the ML because we don't have a choice. We look at the DRs, we really only have two there. Alright, so they're going to be needed. The DCs, we don't have anybody that can fill in for an MLMR. And that goes the same with, although Jack Shorrock here, who's only 16, could move across from here because we do have one at the bottom that could go back into the under 18. So yeah, we'll move him as an ML. So at least he will make the bench, and he'll most probably play in the first friendly because we don't have anybody else. So we'll move Callum Bestford back in here. So we can remove him. We'll put these in descending order, those two, and it still tells us that Callum Bestford is the fourth one, and we'll still be looking to loan him. So that's everything from there, and that's what we're going to do today as well. We're going to loan these players out, or hopefully loan these players out. We've done three that I want to bring into the club that will be very good for Port Vale. So let's start with the goalkeepers. We need to keep three at the club because there's one position for a goalkeeper. I like three goalkeepers. So what we will do, we will go back onto squad, and the first thing we will do is make sure that both these are highlighted, which they are, and we're going to group all the players together and move every one of these 43 to the senior squad. And you'll see why I do that in a moment. And then we will click off the under 18s. If we click off the senior squad, we've got nobody. If we click on the under 18s, we've got nobody. So let's bring them all back into the senior squad. So we're going to start off with the goalkeepers. The top three will stay as senior squad players, and the one at the bottom here, who is the lowest ranked, this is Aaron Davis. He will move to the under 18s, but you can see he's 17 years of age. So we will transfer status him there, and we will make him available for loan. We will leave everything empty, and we'll go confirm. He can't be transferred because he's too young. And then we will go development and put him into the under 18s. So he is available for loan. And as you can see, we've done that anyway in green. We will now change that colour. I will put that into a yellow to say that he is now available for loan. Moving into the DL, we know again that we have the top three there. And the bottom player is Callum Bestford, that will move to the under 18s. But again, he's 17 years of age, and it means that we can loan him out. I'm going to put these in alphabetical order, which is going to be easier for me. So Callum Bestford into development, drop him into the under 18s, then transfer status, you can't sell him, and loan status is going to be available for loan. Don't worry about all this, just confirm that. And he will now have dropped into the under 18. So if I was just to quickly click off the senior squad and into the under 18s, you'll see that our first two players on the left hand side are both listed there for loan, and they've dropped into the under 18s because they're not going to be needed for the first team squad at all. Now we're going to move into the DC. Now in this position we need 6 because we have 2 DC players playing at the same time, and there are our 6. Now the senior player here that's been listed on 326 cannot make it into the top 4. You can't drop him into the under 21s or the under 18s because he's too old. So we are going to put him into the under 18 squad for now, and then we're going to try to sell him. And this is Alex Iakoviti. Now you'll know if this player is going to give you any grief at all, because up in the top left inbox you need to wait for this to go red. So let's go development, under 18. It hasn't gone red, it's not going to cause any problems. Transfer status, we're going to put him available for loan, and also we're going to put him transfer listed. We're not going to put any prices up for anybody. And that's that. Now the transfer value has come up there for about 70,000. We have got him valued at around 115, but to get him out the club, I think we'll just leave that as it is. Now moving into the DRs, we've got 3 DRs that are already there for us. So the bottom one here, who's only 16, can only go into the youth. He cannot do anything else. We can't loan him at that age. And this is Alessandro Trapasso. So there he is down the bottom. We just click on him, and again development, move to the under 18 squad, and then back. Just filter again the senior squad out and the under 18s, and you'll see that we have one youth player there. We have two other youth players, but loan listed, and both here listed for loan and listed as transferred. So those four have moved out of the first team squad. Moving now to the ML, we've only got two there at the moment, so we can't do anything. Even if they were the worst player at the club, we've only got two. Now MC, we need to keep 6 here because we've got 2 central midfielders on the pitch at the same time, so we need 3 for each player, so we need to keep 6. Now the other 2 here that will have to go down to youth are João Silva Pavide and Liam Brazia. Both at 16 years of age, tells us that they can only go to the youth squad. So let's move those. There's Pavide into development, move to under 18s, and your last player there, Liam Brazia. So let's find Liam Brazia, there he is. And again, into development and move to the under 18s. So that's those both moved. Now, at the bottom here, this player, Tom Conlon, is out for around 4 months. So we're also going to move him from the first team squad. And we'll put him under 18s. These players won't moan because they're injured. And our other player that needs to be moved down is Tommy McDermott, because as we know, he's out on loan. There he is in colour purple. Development, move to under 18s. So that's another player done. Now we're going to move into MR. We know we're short in this one again, so we've only got 2, we can't do anything. And into the strikers, we need 6 again. There's 4, there's 5, there's 6. So these next 4 players underneath are not going to be any good for the first team. So 3 of these are 16 years of age, 1 is 17. The first one we're going to do is Bailey De Pepper, and Bailey there is 16 years of age, and he will go to the under 18 squad, so that's him moved. Another 16-year-old here we have is Loden Cousins, and that will be another player that goes into the under 18, so development again. And our last player there, which is Andrew Bua, he's another one who's 16 years old, and he will also go down to the under 18s. And our last player here is Kalen Ryan, who is 17 years of age and will be put out for loan. So again, we click on him, we move him to the under 18s, then we go transfer status. You can see again in the transfer status, you can't sell him, so we'll make him available for loan, confirm, and that will be him moved as well. Right, so what that should tell us now is going back into the team here, we had 43 players. There should be, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 in there. And that now leaves our senior squad. So that leaves our senior squad only with 31 players. And the reason we haven't got 33, which will be our quota, is that when we go into the ML, we've only got 2, and in the MR, we've only got 2. I did that back to front there, but we've only got 2 in each, so we're 1 short in each. So Ellis Taylor would be a help. He's not the greatest player, but he will definitely be a help. Right, the next thing we need to do is put players for training in different positions. Now, first of all, goalkeepers, they're all fine. If you're playing DL, they're all fine as well. All the DCs are okay. Now, the DL here, no, on DR now. DR, the only one that isn't, remember, was Thomas Sang. So the first thing we need to do, find Thomas Sang, go into development and then training. We are going to train him up as a DR. It's accomplished already. We play fullbacks in the system and support. Alright, and that's all you have to do there. You don't need to save anywhere. That's done. And he will be the only one we need to do in the DR. Now the ML, normally a problem, and it is here. Connor Grant is only playing competent in that position, so we need to train him up. He may be a bit old to train up to go into that position, which means he could take you longer to adjust. So Connor Grant into development and training. We're going to put him as an ML. That will be a winger support. Alright, and that's done. And the more games he plays, the more quicker he will adjust to that position. And the chances are at least he could come up to accomplish, because 390 would be good for us, as we need 383. Then into MC, other than Joao Silva, Pavide, everybody else is playing natural. We don't need to change his position because he's a youth player and he won't be staying on beyond the season. Then we move into MR. This is another trouble position, and as you can see, Ethan Chislett is the first one we're going to look at. He's actually competent in that position at 334. Even if he gets to the top of his prime in this position, he's not going to be brilliant for us. So let's go into him. Development training. He's going to be MR, a winger support. So he'll be training for that. Also going to be training as an MR will be Gavin Massey, but these are quite expensive, these two players, to be in this position at those points. So Gavin Massey, MR, is accomplished, but a very poor player. So let's find Gavin Massey, and he will be training MR as a winger and support. And moving into our last position, which is striker, you can see that everybody here is natural except for Andrew Bouar, but again he's dropped into the under-18 squad and won't be kept on after the present season. So that's basically everything up to date. So we're going to now forward the game on until we get to the first friendly, and then we'll come back in the next episode to see how we get on with that. Right, let's see if anyone's interested in these players. Fulham have accepted ours as it stands. There's loan interest in Taylor. We do want him badly, really. He's not the best. Right, and now some of our players that we put out for loan. Here's the first one. There's a couple of loans been made for him, so we will accept those offers. And there's offers made for Bestford. So yeah, we'll take those 3 offers. I'll try to do them singly when they're for money. Right, that's that. And then offers have been made for Iakoviti. And they are all loan offers, so they look pretty similar. So we'll accept all loan offers. And then we've got loan offers for Ryan there. That's the Kalen Ryan. That's the Thai boy. And now we've got, yep, everyone's coming for money then. They seem to be alright, so we'll accept all these offers. There might not be a lot of money coming in, but it's something, and it's better than nothing, and keeping too many players at the squad. Right, the code of contact, I just normally confirm that. That's the player that's out on loan. And here we go. This wasn't going to take long. Oldham and Salford have made offers for Dejan Tetek. But of course, we're a little bit higher in the league than those two, so I'd still say we were favourites at the moment. There's a couple of more loan offers for this player, so we'll accept those. And introduce yourself to the squad. Don't spend too long on this one. I'd like to introduce myself as your new manager. That's that done. And I normally don't bother with anything else. I have nothing else to talk about. Thank you again. And that's it. Leave the meeting. Everyone's happy. See, this is the bit now, because we haven't made any promises to anybody. There's no problems. Right, and you can see that our friendlies start with Salisbury. That's on the 8th, and we're on the 4th. And everyone's been told now that we're going to play 4-4-2. They're not familiar with it, but we do have 7 friendlies. All right, the financial fair play regulations, the current wage for the period, the minimum or maximum allowed, I should say, and there's your spending. Right, now time to meet the media. This is another one I don't like doing, but of course we're playing through the whole season, so we're going to have to do it. And what does it mean to be given the opportunity? It's a real honour. What made you want to manage Port Vale? Anything positive, really, just answer. So just keep making sure they're positive. Does the Port Vale squad have enough quality in your opinion? No, it doesn't. I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to put for that one. Have you had a chance to meet the players? Only briefly, because we've only been here one day, and that's it. So thank God for that. Right, we will now move on to the 5th of July. Straight back to the inbox. And Mansfield have made a loan offer. Mansfield. I didn't think this player was good at all. Right, moving on. Still we have nobody that's come yet. Now we got Deborah injured. There's still a couple of more offers for me to have put in for Itakaviti. So we'll accept Dundee United and Queen's Park. And moving on now. All Blackpool have made a non-negotiable offer. I think we'll accept that. Now Peterborough have come in for this player and they're above us, so I think we've lost him now, I would think. Now Basford set to move on loan to Kings Langley. They're going to pay the paying wage of 80%, and they're also going to pay a monthly fee on top of that of 190. So that's about is £220 a week. So we're going to accept that. So let's go back in to find Callum Besford. And there he is. So now again you can change this to whatever colour you want, because he has now been loaned out. And the best thing to do with him is to move him out of the team to the other side there. And that's him gone. But the most important thing is we're going to get the whole of his wages. So 220 goes down to the bottom. And that puts us 1,031 still to spend in that position if we want to. So that's him gone. Caleb Ryan, our 17-year-old striker, is going to get full money as well. So we'll accept that. And we'll move him out of there. And we'll put Andrew Buar in his place there. And then we can put Caleb Ryan as loaned. And again, £220 there, which is coming in on the player loans. Still leaves us 1879 in debt here. Now here's another one that I really want to change round, and I think we better do this sooner rather than later, is Ryan Loft. That I think he should be changed with James Plant, because James Plant is £500 a week. Ryan Loft is well over budget on 3,000. So let's just do our last one here before we go and change that. And we'll see that Aaron Davis, a 17-year-old goalkeeper, for £200 a week is going to move to Hensford Town. So we'll move Aaron Davis out. If you try and do too much at once here, you'll just get yourself in a mess. And a lot of these players you won't be seeing again. They will be gone from the club. Like this guy here, whose contract runs out. You can see there his contract runs out at the end of 2024, so he won't be back. And that's £200 that we get for him. So that leaves us over 2,000 to spend on goalkeepers. Right, so that's everything done now before I move on. So we're going to go back into the squad. Now this one's going to be a bit of a problem, I think. But Ryan Loft, we're going to move either available for loan, or we're going to move him totally from being transfer listed. Now, if I move him down to the under 18s, he hasn't mowed, which I'm pretty certain he was going to. So let's go in and try and... Right, here he is. So we're going to move Ryan Loft down to the bottom here, and he is going to be either on loan or leave the club, whichever somebody else can come in and do. I don't mind, as long as we get that 3,000. So we've moved James Plant in, which means now we've only got 5 players instead of 6. Let's have a look here. Eli Fisher is now number 5, and number 6, I'm now going to have to move the Pepper back into the first team squad. So again, let's have a look here. Going to the under 18s, and there's the Pepper, and we're going to move him back to the senior squad. But it won't be for long. I just want to keep the numbers right. 31 players as it stands in the senior squad. So we'll hope now that we can get some offers in for Ryan Loft. And now let's move the game on. And at the moment we're on the 6th now. So that's just to tell us that Ryan and Davis have left the club for loans. And we're approaching the last 2 days here before the first friendly, and hopefully one of our 3 signings will come. But I think this Dejan Tete looks like moving, I would say, to Peterborough. This is the suggested squad, but I don't take any notice of any of that. And we're now on the day of the friendly. Morecambe have made a loan approach for Loft. Now, it's got a playing fee of $1,800 a month, or an unused monthly figure, but the 70% of $3,000 is $210. So let's just have a read up. They had offered $1,600 as a monthly fee for the duration of the loan should he play most of the games, $650 if he doesn't, plus an optional fee of $45,000 to be paid at the end of the loan if they wish to make the move permanent, a contribution of 60% of Loft's 3,000 wages. We need, if we look down the bottom, we need 1879 to be covered. So this will be covered. So let's accept the offer there and accept offers of higher or the same. Right, we'll attend meeting here, the recruitment meeting, because this is the first one that we've gone to. And again, we don't need to read up on anything there. And that's it. So we've now arrived at our friendly. Nobody can sign, nobody else is leaving the club, and there's our friendly there at home to Salisbury. That will happen in our next part, part 5, I think, maybe part 6. But that will happen in the next episode anyway. So again, if you've enjoyed it today, you can subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment, and we'll be back first thing for the next part and the first friendly at home to Salisbury. So just want to run through a few things again. We're waiting on 3 signings. Hopefully we can get those. I thought it was always going to be too short from day one to the first friendly to receive any of those in. We've got a few players now out on loan. We'll have a look at the transfers here that are going to be in. They're still waiting. So that is about it. The other money's been added to the wage budget, so we've still got 3,590 to spend there. And we'll meet again in the next episode. Thanks for watching.